This is Misha. She's a 10-year-old English Springer Spaniel. She's a very active and energetic dog and enjoys the garden or park. She loves to run and is pretty fast. But can you notice something unusual about her? She lost her hind left leg in a car accident 2 years ago. She has adjusted well and leads a normal, active life. We're now off to Aquapaws to see how other animals cope with the loss or use of limbs.
So we're here at Aquapaws with Joe, a canine rehabilitation therapist, and Ian, who is the owner of Leo, a collie who unfortunately has degenerative myelopathy. How long have you been seeing Leo for, Joe?
I've been seeing Leo probably for a couple of months now.
Okay.
He actually uses the underwater treble hydrotherapy to keep his muscle mass on his back legs and keep him as mobile for as long as possible. And today we're actually going to fit him out with a wheelchair.
Excellent. So Ian, living with a dog with a disability, he has degenerative myelopathy. How long has he been living with that for?
Probably about 6 months.
6 months, and he's been progressively getting worse?
Unfortunately, he's really getting worse, unfortunately.
Degenerative myelopathy for dogs like Leo and other dogs is a condition that's not dissimilar to MS, so it is something that they slowly get worse, they slowly become more disabled, and moving into a wheelchair is an inevitability. There are some other training or disability aids that may help in the interim. Have you used these boots that Joe has made up?
Yes, he has used his boots. He likes his boots. They do help his, particularly his foot and scuffling.
So how do these work, Joe?
With his condition, they lose the feeling in their back feet.
Yep.
And these, when they drag their paws on the ground, they can actually open up great big sores. And these actually stop that from happening.
Oh, wow.
So we just slip them on.
Degenerative myelopathy is a condition that's not painful, but I imagine if he starts opening up sores in his feet, that would start causing some discomfort. So these sorts of boots would certainly improve his quality of life.
Well, he loves wearing his boots.
Excellent.
We also have lifting harnesses,
Yep.
which make it a bit easier on the owner's back.
Of course.
As it progresses, they lose more and more mobility, and this just helps the owner pick them up.
Okay.
Take them outside.
So how does this work?
Pop it around underneath his belly.
So Ian, you would use something like this if you were moving him in and out of the car, around the house at certain times if he was having difficulty. It certainly looks very comfortable and easy to use.
Washable.
Excellent. Perfect. Well, let's move him into the chair. I'm really looking forward to seeing how he reacts and see how he tolerates it.
I haven't had one of these before, so it'll be interesting.
Yeah.
Right, there you go. Good boy.
Perfect. It certainly seems to fit very well. Joe, is this something that you've had to make specifically for him?
We've made it based on his measurements.
Yep.
Which Ian sent to us. It's actually quite a good fit.
Excellent. Love to see him moving. I'm not sure how he'll go the first time he's stepped into one, but let's see how he goes.
Leo. Leo. Just Leo. Come on, Leo. Good boy. Leo. Come on.
Come on, Leo.
Come on, Leo.
A little bit of encouragement there, Joe.
Get him on the
Come
dirt.
on, Leo.
Good boy.
Good boy, Leo.
Come on.
Leo. Come on.
There we go. Good boy. Excellent.
Come on, Leo. Good boy.
Oh, treat there for the end, hey? Good man. Good
Bit of
boy.
Private Works wonders.
Come on, matey.
Let's practice.
So we've got Katrina and her wonderful pug Brandy here. Brandy's confined to a wheelchair.
Yeah.
How old's Brandy?
Brandy's 13.
Excellent. And how recently has she been in the wheelchair?
She's been in the wheelchair for about 12 months. Yeah.
What led to her being in the wheelchair?
She's got disc disease.
Okay.
She's got 3 lesions in her spine.
Yep.
So she's started off with partial paralysis, and that
Yep.
has progressed further on
Yep.
to no longer having use of her hind legs.
Okay, and obviously while she was partially paralysed and then led to complete paralysis, her quality of life was obviously quite severely affected.
Yeah, yep, she was unable to get around the house
Yep.
as much, and unable to play with the other dogs in the house.
Yep.
And then since getting the wheelchair, it's like a new dog.
Yeah, it certainly seems that way. I've never seen a little dog look so happy.
Yeah.
She seems to get around in the wheelchair with relative ease, doesn't
Yeah,
she?
yep, yeah. It's no drama for her from the first day we put it on her. You know, there was no training required. We just put it on, and she was running up and down the hallway.
Fantastic. So, other owners out there may be in a very similar situation. Is there a lot to think about before putting our dogs in a wheelchair in regards to the amount of care that's required, in regards to other circumstances, in regards to their bladder health and their toileting issues?
Yeah, well, obviously Brandy requires a lot of attention because she's a disabled dog. She's always supervised when she's in the wheelchair, and she needs toilet breaks every few hours.
Yes.
And she needs to be taken outside and have her bladder expressed.
Yep.
And she's in a nappy, obviously, now.
Yes.
And obviously a lot of time and effort goes into looking after a dog in a wheelchair, but it's very rewarding. So.
It is. I mean, she's such a happy little dog. Without this sort of piece of equipment, her quality of life was obviously quite severely affected.
Yeah, yeah. And I mean, now she seems like a very happy dog. And we always said that we'd give up when Brandy gave up, and she hasn't gotten to that point. She hasn't gotten near it. So
certainly doesn't seem that way. It fits her very well. There's a lot of padding there. Are there any concerns with sores developing or anything like that?
I don't think so. She's only in it for sort of a couple hours, you know, a maximum at a time, and then she's taken out, and she gets tired because she exerts herself in it. And then she'll have a rest in her bed, and then she'll go back in it. So obviously you can't leave them in it for too long because they'll get sore. But you know, and her fitness has gotten up to a point that she can run around.
Yeah,
now.
she certainly seems that way. I think that it's very important to take away from meeting you today, as well as Brandy, that these sorts of conditions, although can be very serious and painful at times, in some families and in some dogs, their quality of life can be improved significantly by the use of an aid like this.
Yep.
So I certainly would like other owners, if they have dogs, disabled dogs like Brandy, to seek out wheelchairs or other sorts of implements that will improve their dog's quality of life.
Yeah, I mean, Brandy, I don't think knows that she's disabled when she's in her wheelchair.
It certainly doesn't seem that way, does it?
No.
Excellent. Thanks, Katrina. It's been really nice to meet you.
It's all right.
Thanks, Brandy.
Yeah.